Namaste viewers, welcome to BRICS TV Bharat. I am Professor Dr. Srinivasan, Head of International BRICS Plus School, India. In an earlier episode, we discussed the diverse nature and few components of Indian culture, which is one of the world's oldest cultures. Today, we have the honor of hosting Srimati Sudha Ramprasad again, and this time to give us an insight into India's family values and support system. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
As in many older cultures, the family has an important place in Indian culture. Ma'am, could you please take us through the intricacies and complexities of family values in Indian context and trace them through few generations across ages from the ancient to modern?
Certainly, Professor. Namaste, viewers. History reveals that many ancient cultures like the Roman, Greek and Egyptian cultures were destroyed over time. But the Indian culture, which is said to be over 5,000 years old, is still in existence and thriving. Certain values in our culture may be diluted, but by and large they still exist in their original forms because they are derived from the Vedas, the ancient scriptures, thus having a very strong foundation. For example, the Panchayat Raj system of administration, the Gurukul system of education, the spiritual values, belief in the theories of karma and reincarnation, the Varnashrama Dharma, that is the categorization based on profession, and the stages in life and the joint family system are some of the practices that have endured to this day. We might inherit traits, but our social and cultural attributes are largely learned from our environments, societies, groups and family members. Culture, as we had discussed earlier in the previous episode, may be described as a way of life because it includes all aspects of our lives: food, clothing, the architecture of our homes, how we spend time in recreation and sport, religion, the way we think and behave, our customs and traditions, the language we speak, how we greet and treat people, etc. However, this said, culture is always dynamic. With time, the mixing of cultures and the addition of new technologies and ideologies bring about changes in the culture. We say namaste with our palms together, while in other cultures they bow to each other, shake hands or kiss each other as a way of greeting. That said, it's not uncommon to see Indians shaking hands now. The reason why Indian culture is still alive is that it is structured to accommodate change and adaptability. It may be compared to an ocean where all rivers flow, but the nature and properties of the ocean do not change. This dynamic character is Hindutva. The philosophy of the Indian culture is comprehensive, all-encompassing, and cosmic in its inclusivity. It accepts the inherent divinity in all the components of creation and the need for harmonious coexistence of humankind with nature. This is the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, an inclusive philosophy that accepts the whole of creation as one family. This was also the theme of the G20 summit of 2023 that India had chaired: One Earth, One Family, One Future.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam encapsulate the inclusive philosophy of viewing the entire creation as one family, echoed in the theme of the 2023 G20 chaired by India: One Earth, One Family, One Future. Brilliant, ma'am. The next question to you. Family support and values in India are deeply rooted in tradition, culture and societal norms, shaping the fabric of Indian society. So what, according to you, ma'am, is the binding factor, a major component that brings instability and endurance?
Yes, a fundamental component of culture that molds and shapes an individual's personality and helps them to skillfully navigate through life is the family system. In the Indian context, this may be read as a joint family system where many generations live together under one roof. We can find grandparents, parents, children and an assortment of aunts, uncles and cousins coexisting in the same household, sharing resources and responsibilities. Joint families provide security, companionship, and continuity, ensuring that no member feels isolated or neglected. At the core of Indian family values lies the principle of collectivism, where the needs of the family unit supersede those of the individual. This collective mindset fosters strong bonds among family members, creating an unparalleled support system. Individuals rely on their families for emotional, financial, intellectual, and social support from birth to death.
Collectivism prioritizes the needs of the family over those of individual, fostering strong bonds and serving as a comprehensive support system throughout life. Proceeding further, ma'am, which is the one important value according to you that may be considered the cornerstone of Indian family values?
Respect for elders is the mainstay of Indian family values. Children are taught from a young age to honor and obey their parents, senior members of the family, grandparents, elders. This reverence is manifested through gestures like touching their feet as a sign of respect and seeking their blessings before embarking on important endeavors. Not to belittle the role of parents in Indian families, parents are providers, nurturers, educators, and role models who instill values like honesty, humility, compassion, and hard work in their children through words and actions. Moreover, the bond between parents and children is cherished and celebrated through various cultural rituals and festivals. This respect for the elderly translates into filial piety, a deep rooted aspect of Indian cultural heritage where children are expected to care for their aging parents. Traditionally, parents live with their eldest son, who is considered responsible for their well being in their senior years. This practice ensures that loved ones surround elders and receive the care and respect that they deserve. This, unfortunately, is changing now, and we shall discuss the reasons going forward.
Slightly deviating from the topic, in these days of advancement in thoughts, ideas and ideologies are arranged marriages, not an anachronism. What do you say about this?
Marriage holds sacred status in India, with family playing a pivotal role in matchmaking. Arranged marriages, where families actively seek suitable partners for their children, are still prevalent in most parts of the country. In such arrangements, the bride and groom's families decide the match to ensure compatibility based on caste, religion, socio-economic status, and importantly, horoscope matching, which is still prevalent. However, with the advancement in technology and the age of virtual meetings, many matrimonial sites for marriage alliances have popped up and are increasingly preferred as the number one option for meeting their future spouses. According to a New York Times article, there were at least 1,500 matrimonial sites in India, with the number certain to have gone up in these 9 years. While Generation Z may be attracted to dating apps and sites, many of these double as matrimonial sites, leading to successful alliances. By and large, Indian youth opt for arranged marriages even now. One important reason attributed to the continuation of this tradition is that even after marriage, the support system provided by the family remains crucial. Newlyweds often live with or near the groom's parents, forming an extended family unit. In times of joy, such as childbirth or festivals, and sorrow, such as illness or loss, the extended family rallies to offer love, assistance, and solidarity.
Ma'am, marriage in India emphasizes family involvement in matchmaking, with arranged marriages prevailing. However, technological advancements have led to the rise of matrimonial sites, still reflecting the enduring preferences for familial support in relationships. Ma'am, my next question to you is, with a history spanning thousands of years, the notion of family carries great importance with the Indian cultural framework, extending beyond nuclear families to include four relatives. What makes the joint family still relevant when nuclear families are the rule rather than the exception?
As mentioned earlier, joint families provide a strong support system where family members can rely on each other during times of need, offering emotional, financial, and practical support. Household chores, childcare, and financial responsibilities are often shared among members of a joint family. This distribution of responsibilities can ease the burden on individual family members and foster community ties and cooperation. Joint families preserve cultural traditions and values through daily interactions and celebrations of festivals and rituals. Cultural practices are passed down from generation to generation, ensuring continuity and a sense of identity. Very rarely, though, there could be slip ups due to lack of communication, leading to absurd customs, which, however, do not pass the test of time. Let me share a small humorous anecdote in this regard, where a lack of communication led to perpetuating a meaningless custom. So, this may be just a story. Anyway, in a particular family, it was customary to hold an annual religious ritual which included a havan or a fire ceremony. This family had adopted a stray cat, and to ensure that the cat did not run across and defile the ritual, they used to put it in a large coop and release it after the ceremony was completed. So, after a few years, both the master of the house and the cat passed on. When the time came for conducting the annual ritual, do you know what the son did? He went out looking for a cat, found and caught one with great difficulty, and put it under a coop before starting the ritual. Needless to say, it was unnecessary, and they had to put up with the caterwauling throughout the ceremony. As mentioned earlier, elderly members are cared for within the family unit, receiving support and companionship from younger generations. This arrangement allows seniors to maintain their dignity and independence in their old age while surrounded by loved ones. Joint families provide a platform for resolving conflicts and disagreements through open communication and mediation. With multiple family members involved, conflicts can be addressed collectively, leading to more harmonious resolutions.
Great to know, ma'am. However, statistics reveals that joint families are dwindling entities now. What is your opinion?
Unfortunately, yes. In recent years, urbanization and globalization have led to shifts in family dynamics in India. Nuclear families consisting of parents and their unmarried children are becoming more common, particularly in urban areas. According to a report, approximately 50% of the households in India are nuclear. Despite these changes, the underlying values of family support, respect, and cohesion remain strong in Indian society. Grown up children and young adults are increasingly favoring independence. They go abroad for higher studies and, adapting to the culture of that country, continue their lives there. They are self reliant and career oriented. They may continue to honor the traditions they were born into, but it is not practical to maintain them in their entirety.
Okay. My next question to you: what are some potential drawbacks associated with insufficient family support?
Isolation and lack of support from extended family members, financial strain in meeting all the household expenses, struggles with work-life balance, juggling multiple roles, less time for socializing, challenges and dependency on external support systems such as childcare facilities, senior homes for elderly care are a few of the several drawbacks and challenges of insufficient family support, particularly in the context of nuclear families. The pressure of managing various responsibilities and navigating life's challenges can potentially strain marital relationships within nuclear families. Also, communication breakdowns, disagreements over roles and responsibilities, and insufficient time spent together can lead to marital discord and dissatisfaction. And insufficient family support can hinder the intergenerational exchange of knowledge, values, and traditions within nuclear families. Without regular interaction with grandparents or other older relatives, children may miss out on valuable insights and experiences passed down through generations, leading to a loss of cultural continuity and familial bonds. While the revival of joint families may be a remote possibility, the via media could be the extended families comprising the grandparents, the married offspring, and the grandchildren, which are quite common in India.
Yes.
The challenges associated with insufficient family support in nuclear families underscore the importance of building strong social networks, fostering community connections, and implementing supportive policies and programs to address the diverse needs of individuals and families in modern society.
So, viewers, the key highlight of potential drawback is insufficient family support in nuclear families underscores the importance of building strong social networks and fostering community connections. Ma'am, what about the Generation Z? The younger generations, they appear to be individualistic and self-centered.
While it's a common stereotype to label younger generations as individualistic and self-centered, it's important to consider the broader context and complexities involved. The younger generations, including Gen Z, often prioritize individual expression and personal autonomy. They may value their own identity, beliefs, and goals highly, seeking to carve out their own paths in life rather than adhering strictly to traditional norms or expectations. Young people are often navigating the process of self-discovery and may sometimes prioritize their own needs and desires. However, this doesn't mean they lack empathy or concern for others. Many young people today are deeply engaged in social issues and causes, demonstrating empathy and a desire to make positive changes in their communities and the world. This contradicts the notion of them being self-centered. Each generation tends to respond to the unique circumstances of their times. What might appear as individualism or self-centeredness in one generation could be seen as independence and self-awareness in another. Factors such as technology, globalization, economic conditions, and societal values all play roles in shaping individual behaviors and attitudes. Like any demographic group, individuals within younger generations exhibit a wide range of behaviors, attitudes, and values shaped by diverse experiences and contexts.
Now, what do you think will be the implications of the increasing prevalence of nuclear families for the nations as a whole?
For one thing, the social infrastructure. As the number of nuclear families grows, there will be an increased demand for social infrastructure such as housing, healthcare facilities, and recreational spaces tailored to smaller family units. Urban planning and development policies may need to adapt to accommodate this demographic shift. Then there is the economic impact. Nuclear families typically have higher disposable incomes and consumption patterns compared to joint or extended families. This can drive economic growth through increased consumer spending on goods and services, as well as investments in education and healthcare for children. On the flip side, there could be a temptation to unbridled spending owing to consumerism. So, traditional family structures and values may evolve as nuclear families become more common. The prevalence of nuclear families can influence societal norms and values, particularly regarding gender roles, individualism, and intergenerational relationships. The rise of nuclear families may impact social cohesion and community ties as individuals may rely less on extended family networks for social support. Strengthening community bonds and social networks outside the family unit may become important for maintaining social cohesion. Changes in family structure can lead to cultural shifts, including attitudes towards marriage, parenting, and personal relationships. These cultural shifts may have both positive and negative implications for individual well-being and societal norms. Not to miss the challenges of elderly care, with fewer family members available to provide care for elderly parents, there being an increased reliance on formal caregiving services and senior living facilities. This could pose challenges in terms of affordability, accessibility, and quality of care for the elderly population. Labor market dynamics is another aspect to watch out for.
Yes.
With more individuals living in nuclear families, there may be changes in labor market dynamics. Both spouses in a nuclear family are more likely to participate in the workforce, leading to shifts in employment patterns, such as increased demand for flexible work arrangements and childcare services. Nuclear families often prioritize education and skill development for their children, which can have long term implications for the nation's human capital development. So, investments in education and vocational training may become increasingly important to meet the demands of a changing labor market. The increase in nuclear families is also closely linked to urbanization and internal migration as more individuals move to urban areas in search of employment and better opportunities. This demographic shift will continue to shape the demographic and socio-economic landscape of Indian cities, requiring adaptation and proactive policy responses to address emerging challenges and opportunities, necessitating changes in government policies related to healthcare, social welfare, and elderly care. There may be a greater emphasis on policies that support working parents, such as subsidized childcare, parental leave, and flexible work arrangements.
Further proceeding, ma'am, allowing for all the reasons for the shift to nuclear families, do you think there will be a great erosion in the traditionally held and moral ethical values? So, where are we headed in terms of maintaining the long held cultural values?
The inherent natural order in the cosmos is described as Satya and Rita, Satya being the reality and Rita being the cosmic order within this realm of creation. While Rita refers to a cosmic principle, Dharma refers to the same applied to the social moral sphere. Dharma is a unique concept used in Hinduism to refer to actions and behaviors that are in harmony with Rita, the order and custom that makes life and creation possible. This includes duties, rights, laws, conduct, and virtues. Dharma may be described as the right way of living, the moral and ethical laws that govern an individual's conduct. Quoting the Yajurveda again, Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande. Every individual is considered to be a hologram of the universe, the microcosm of the vast macrocosm. Therefore, Dharma is the Satya and Rita as applicable to the individual entities of the microcosm.
True.
However, they are suitably modified for each society and are taught to each individual by the members of their family first, passed down by the experiences and wisdom of generations as Dharma. Dharma is a concept that cannot be translated into a single word. It has many connotations and multiple meanings. Our scriptures describe the concept of Yuga Dharma, laws that pertain to and are relevant to the times. Rather than call it an erosion of values, let's call it a change. As discussed earlier, culture is structured to accommodate change and adaptability. The change, however, happens gradually without inducing a culture shock. Notwithstanding the entire discussion, the reason for the enduring cultural values in India is that the soul of Indian culture is its spirituality. Its stability is because of its receptivity and adaptability, and its endurance is because it generously accommodates and assimilates the good from other cultures. And this is why Indian culture is described in the Yajurveda as Sa Prathama Samskritihi Vishwavara, the first and the supreme culture in the world. And the reason it is enduring is that it is inclusive and designed to coexist harmoniously with nature. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, an inclusive philosophy that accepts the whole of creation as one family.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing valuable insights on family values. Recapitulating from Yajurveda quotes, a family is a place where minds come in contact with one another. The entire world is true Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one global family. In conclusion, exploring the dynamics of joint families, nuclear families, and the evolving values of Generation Z highlights the diverse spectrum of family structures and traditions across nations. It underscores the imperative for each generation and uphold, transmit these values to preserve the essence of familial bonds amidst evolving societal and personal dynamics. Signing off for today, stay connected for more updates on From Tradition to Innovation Mapping India's Varied Peculiarities. See you soon. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste viewers.